Hi friends, welcome back to the hillside. Today I have a few things I have to do. I have to re-trellis some of my tomatoes, harvest a bunch of peppers, and just get a few things done in the greenhouse and around my garden today. I haven't been able to get out here and do any of this in the past like 3 days, even though some of these are really ready to be harvested. So let's head in and start harvesting some veggies. Alright, so in here I have a bunch of Hungarian wax peppers that I have to harvest. They're ready. So we're just going to go in here and harvest some of these. See just how big they're getting. And they're really ripe. They're starting to change color a little bit. So I'm just going to snip them off. You can see how nice and big those are. Those are really good size. I'm going to remove all the big ones off the trees today. Okay, and I also have plants over here. I'm just going to toss them in this little container here. I'm going to leave the really tiny ones on here. These are the Caribbean peppers that I've been keeping you guys updated on the past few months. They are doing so well, and they're just absolutely loaded with peppers, guys. Take a look. Like, look at how healthy these peppers are. Like, they are so healthy. They're the most healthy plants I have growing the entire time. Oh my goodness, you guys, look. One of them turned red. Wow. This is so cool. I haven't seen any of them turn red yet. This is the first one. Wow, amazing. I actually didn't even know if they would turn red or not. I was like, I'm pretty sure they will when they're ripe, because most peppers will turn like red or yellow or orange or whatever it is. But I wasn't sure. This one's really tiny though, so it's so cute though. I harvested some of my bell peppers yesterday. I harvested like 3 really nice sized bell peppers off my bell pepper plants. They're still in the fridge, so I'm actually going to chop and freeze those. And I'm also going to pick off just a few of these peppers here while they're green. Let me just show you what they look like. I'm going to leave quite a bit of these on here so that they can get red, but you can see how they look. Are they nice? Let's get a few more of the bigger ones. Some of these are really quite large, and because the trees are so loaded, it's actually weighing down the plants a little bit. Like this one back here, I should probably trellis this one up. It's just loaded with peppers. And what I noticed about these peppers is that they grow in groups of 3. Let me see if I can give you a close-up so I can show you exactly what I mean. But just like handfuls and handfuls of these peppers. So productive. I'm so proud. Okay, let me show you how they grow in 3s. So if you can see here, They kind of grow in bunches. You see that? All of these bunches here. It's just all over. There's just bunches and bunches on every plant. They are just absolutely loaded with fruit here. What I'm gonna do now though is try and trellis these up to the top of the greenhouse, because they're so heavy with fruit, they're kind of falling over and flopping over a bit. So I'm going to try and trellis these up a little, and I'm also going to trellis up my tomatoes over here. My tomato right here, I'm going to try and trellis this up. Right now it's using a mesh as the trellis, but I'm going to change that. I want to trellis up the tomatoes using my tomato clips and my string that I have. So I'm going to remove all of this and re-trellis up these tomatoes. Hopefully I won't do too much damage to them though, so let's go and do that now. But that's the peppers I got for now. I'm going to take these inside and chop and freeze them all, because that's how we like our veggies here, mostly just chop and freeze so I can toss them into whatever we like. We're not huge on like fermenting or anything like that. We might do a few pickles because we like some pickled veggies, but it'll mostly be chop and freeze. Let's trellis the tomatoes up first and then we'll start on the peppers. So the tomatoes are here, caged in on this fruit tree mesh. I'm gonna snip them all off and get my tomato clips and my string. Just gonna start with one at a time. I'm gonna just snip off these zip ties that I had here, and here is one tomato plant right here. Just gonna break off any extra branches that aren't doing anything. I'm gonna get my string to see how much I need. Like that. Go all the way up to the roof, which is what I'm gonna need. Just making sure I have enough string that I can reach the top. So I'm just gonna tie it off to the top. Then I'm gonna tie it off to the tomato. We're gonna get the clip, and I want it to clip in right here. So I'm gonna put this around the tomato, getting the string in between here. The string goes right in the middle where the clasp closes, so it holds the string in there. So just gonna pop the string in, bring it down to where I want it. I want it right there. All right, so one is completely trellised up. You can see how it looks. It's perfect. Now I'm going to start on the next one here. And I'm just going to gently remove the leaves that are growing inside. Alright guys, I got all of the tomatoes trellised up, so you can see I snipped off all of the bottom branches off of my tomato plants here. I've been keeping them, trying to keep them as pruned as possible so that we don't get any blight or diseases or anything like that. So you can see I have some tomatoes on here, and I think they'll do a lot better now that they're trellised up with the string. Tie them all up to the roof, and now everything is nice and tight and being held up so they don't flop over all over the ground. Now I have to trellis up a few of these pepper plants, so I'm going to do that now. So now this pepper is off the ground. And it'll grow upwards for me. Which is great. I have this tomato cage here that I'm just going to stick in here. Try and hold them upwards. There we go. Last thing I have to do in here today is show you guys my top tip for growing really nice sized Brussels sprouts. If you've ever tried to grow Brussels sprouts before and you're just not getting a big yield, it's probably due to this one thing. Let me show you. Okay, so here I have my Brussels sprout plants. So here's another one. You can see how small the little Brussels sprouts are. What I am going to do is come at the very top here, and I'm just going to snip that off. Like that. So now it won't put any more energy into growing this top piece. Let me go a little lower. It'll put all the energy into putting out the Brussels sprouts now. So I'm going to snip off all of these top pieces. Like that. Feed these to my goats or to my ducks or chickens. They'll love it. And I've been reading a lot about how to get your Brussels sprouts to grow bigger. And the #1 tip they said is to clip off the tops of the plants. So I'm gonna do that with the rest of these now. So you can see how much difference it makes when you actually snip off the tops of the Brussels sprout plants. Let me just show you what it looks like from the ones that I snipped off a week ago compared to the ones that I just snipped right now. These ones were, I snipped this off about a week ago, maybe just under a week. And you can already see how big these little Brussels sprouts are compared to the ones we just did right now. They've basically got nothing on them. So now that I snip this off, we'll really start to see the Brussels sprouts produce the Brussels sprouts. So make sure you go ahead and snip off the top. It really does help. That's my #1 tip for the Brussels sprouts. Tomatoes are looking a lot better now, and we harvested a good amount of my peppers here. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for this episode. I hope you learned something today, and if you did, make sure you go ahead and share this video on social media. It really does help me out, as well as it'll help out someone who you think this will be helpful for. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay peaceful. Bye.